atmosphere.
Immersion. What does that even mean? It can mean a lot of things, actually. If someone says a game is immersive, maybe the graphics look so good, or the gameplay is really engaging, or a myriad of other reasons that you get sucked into a game. That's really what it is. There's just some aspect of the game that makes you forget that you're even playing a game, and son of a bitch, it's 3 AM already. But one of the best ways to get immersed, in my opinion, is to have an atmosphere. Not like the air around us or anything, no, the mood that the game gives off. Some of the best examples of this you'll find in this medium is Metroid. Picture this, you are completely alone on an alien planet, but you're Samus Aran, you don't need help. You explore this planet by yourself without even any NPCs to talk to. You feel alone, but you don't feel helpless given how stupidly overpowered you become by the end of the game. Instead of the world being devoid of hope, is given an aura of adventure. This isn't a struggle, this is a new place to explore, new upgrades and abilities to find. The world is your oyster, and it's given off by how moody and dark the environment usually is. But it has this catchy music that you can still zone out as you find new pickups, not to mention the lack of dialogue to interrupt you. I'm talking more about Super Metroid for this, but most games in the series give off the same vibe for similar reasons. Except for one. Metroid Fusion. In Fusion, that sense of isolation and loneliness is still there, but you have a companion in the form of an AI giving you orders, so that sense of solitude isn't quite the focus anymore. And even if the game is far more linear, it still feels adventurous. But there's now this sense of disaster. This is a space station filled with an alien parasite called the X. They're practically invincible and can fully mimic their prey, knowledge and all. To say that they're comically overpowered is an understatement. And the only thing that was keeping them at bay were the Metroids, which you conveniently hunted to near extinction in the second game. Maybe genocide is a bad thing after all. The only reason why Samus is immune to these things is because she was infected with Metroid DNA after she got infected by one. Speaking of which, there's a perfect clone of Samus at peak power roaming around this place. Oh, and there's 20 of them by the end of the game, isn't that just peachy? And the tone shifts into horror whenever you have to confront an SAX. The game goes almost dead silent. All you can hear is its loud footsteps as it walks around. You can't kill it, and it does ludicrous damage to you. All you can do is run. All these circumstances gives you a feeling that something can go horribly, irreversibly wrong at any second. And it's fantastic. Portal is another game that makes you feel alone. I mean, yeah, this may be a puzzle game, but you feel like you're on your own. The only thing you can even call a friend is an AI that talks to you over the god mic and tries to kill you every 5 seconds. GLaDOS may be hilarious, but she's condescending and sarcastic. She doesn't exactly come off as friendly. And she lies to you about cake. What a monster. While you're playing the game, you're constantly listening to haunting yet soothing music, just complimenting the fact that you never see another living thing in these games. And yet, there's these rat dens made entirely by someone else trapped in this facility, but you never see him, adding to this sense of paranoia. You know you're not alone, and yet, you are. But in the second game, one of the rat dens has this faint babbling that you can just barely hear. Just the thought of even interacting with another human being in this place is unsettling, because you're just not used to it. The second game doesn't have quite the same atmosphere. It's still there to an extent, but the much more humorous dialogue offsets that feeling of loneliness. Speaking of Valve, Half-Life has some great atmosphere too. Basically, you're some physicist named Gordon Freeman. Some experiment causes a portal to another dimension to open up, and you have to escape Black Mesa or else you, die and stuff. Half-Life gives me a similar vibe to Metroid Fusion. It always feels like the situation is about to go horribly wrong, but you still feel like you're in control. You can handle whatever the game throws at you, but doing so still requires resource management, so you don't waste too much ammo or take too much damage. There are other scientists in the facility, but they don't much help, so while you aren't alone on this adventure, you might as well be. Half-Life also has this almost constant sense of horror. It's never scary per se, but Black Mesa is an unsettling place. You never feel safe. The military even gets involved in this whole fiasco, so you've got this war between them and the Zen aliens to worry about too. And yet these guys seem to be going after you specifically, and there's this dude in a suit wandering around. It adds up to a sense of mystery amid all this chaos. You want to press on to find out what's happening. Then the second game comes around and replaces that chaos with dystopia. After that alien invasion, the Combine was formed and subsequently became an oppressive militia over everyone in City 17, with monitors constantly shoving Breen in everyone's faces, almost like some benevolent dictator. There's people scared for their own safety, couples consoling each other, and there was a sense of hopelessness in the air. It's not much better outside of the city either. Eventually you wind up in Ravenholm, a town completely decimated by the Combine and alien invasion. An otherwise normal looking main town is covered to the brim with headcrab zombies, and you have to fight your way out of it. And then there's Grigori over here having the time of his life. Afterwards, the atmosphere goes back to that oppressive dystopian norm as if nothing happened, just showing how cut off Ravenholm is from the rest of the world and how bad the situation really is, all without directly telling you. If you're looking for an entire game with a bleak, hopeless atmosphere, look no further than The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Link's horse gets stolen by a skull kid wearing this creepy mask and is subsequently turned into a Deku scrub and lacks his usual abilities. But upon getting to Clocktown, the happy mask salesman tasks you in retrieving that mask the skull kid was wearing, Majora's Mask. But you only have 3 days, so you can't waste time. Everything seems relatively normal, unless you decide to look up. Yeah, so that 3-day time limit is also how long it'll take for the moon to crash into the planet, and it's all being caused by that damn skull kid. Majora's Mask is Groundhog Day Extended Edition. You keep reliving the same 3 days over and over again until you're able to stop the moon from crashing into Termina, and everyone experiences this differently as the fall gets closer and closer. Some ignore it, some say bring it on, others cower in fear or run away. It gives you this sense of dread of the coming apocalypse, especially in the final 5 minutes in the counter where the bleak nature of this narrative is turned up to 11. There's even this ominous, foreboding music playing, incorporating the bells from the clock tower. Time is short, so there's this sense of urgency at all times, with a timer constantly reminding you of how much time you have left before you have to reset everything. And if you choose to just do nothing and let the timer run out, the moon actually falls. You fail. Time is reset, of course, this is a video game, but it's a reminder of what will happen if you don't accomplish your goal of waking the 4 giants, and that's just Clocktown itself. There was an impressive amount of detail to this whole thing, and it makes you want to accomplish your goal even more to stop this coming catastrophe. When it comes to catastrophe, Zelda has a completely different vibe when it already happened. In Breath of the Wild, Link fails to stop Ganon 100 years before the game even starts, so you're let loose in a big world that's just begging to be explored. While I think the soundtrack to this game is a bit weaker than most Zeldas, it does its in-game job superbly. A lot of the time, there is no music, so you just take in the sounds in the world. The jingling of Koroks, the beeping from your shrine raid, or grunts of enemies. It wouldn't work as well if the music wasn't so quiet and background focused. For essentially taking place in the apocalypse, exploring this Hyrule is a strangely tranquil time, and it's all because of the sound design. Not to mention that the world itself is about as open as a game like this could be. The music and sound makes it feel alive, and it wouldn't feel so well executed if the gameplay didn't complement that. Just one of the many reasons to love this game. But if you want a relaxing atmosphere, Animal Crossing is king. This is like the anti-game. There's no enemies, no obstacles, no challenge. You just live a peaceful life doing whatever. You could fish, catch some bugs, decorate your house, sleep all day, it's up to you. There's no stress, no time limits, just a warm, welcoming atmosphere, enhanced by some of the chillest music around. You can boot this game up for about 20 minutes every day, or even hours at a time. Stay as long as you like. If you get bored, come back during different times of the year. No one minds if you disappear for a few months. The townsfolk missed you. Why not invite your friends along? Just sit back and relax. Everything is so happy. Almost too happy. Doesn't it make you want to go shoot something? Welcome to hell, bitches. With constant violence, heavy metal, guns, and anger, Doom just oozes adrenaline. It makes me want to rush in and kill everything in sight. I don't care about this stupid story. Give me more things to kill. More heavy metal. Yeah, give me that chainsaw. Let's go. Oh, you got more of these dudes? Let me at him. You think I'm afraid of you? Bitch, you're afraid of me. I am the danger. I am the Doom Slayer / Doom Guy. They're different people. Doom lore is weird. But the story doesn't matter. Just kill everything in sight until the credits roll. Too much violence. I'm going back to Animal Crossing. This much mood whiplash can't be healthy. You probably get my point by now. Atmosphere is all the elements of the game adding up to some kind of mood. Maybe it's happy, maybe it's sad, maybe it's horrific or claustrophobic or chill or anything really. It adds up to the game having more of a theme or focus, and it makes the world feel more stylized and interesting in my opinion. If you got a game about having a peaceful life with cute animal villagers, it wouldn't make much sense to start playing death metal and giving everyone guns, now would it? If it makes the player relaxed, double down on that. Make them even more relaxed. A game doesn't need a good atmosphere to be enjoyable, but it's a good way to make the player feel more immersed in the game and forget that they're even playing one to begin with. There's plenty more examples of a good atmosphere. Horror games, for instance, strive off their atmosphere to make the player feel scared. But these were just a few of my favorites. This has been Flame Guy, and next time you play a game with a good atmosphere, why not take the time to just soak it all in? This is too peaceful, I'm going back to Doom. Take care, and I'll see you all next mission.